We are in the year of Imagine Rotary. This means taking the risk to dream big and through the power of Rotary partnership, turning those dreams into reality. So sometime today, or maybe during your travel from Orlando to wherever you call home, I invite you to take the time to answer the question of what Imagine Rotary means to you. To me, Imagine Rotary means imagining a world of Rotary that perfectly reflects and represents the communities in which we reside. It means each one of us, as members of this organization, intentionally welcoming people whose perspectives were missing in our clubs and our projects. It means combining our strengths to elevate the impact we are having in our communities and across the world. There is this saying commonly used in Western culture: great minds think alike. It's often used in the context of celebration when individuals agree on how to approach a situation or solve a problem. Back when I was in high school, this used to be one of my go-to sayings, used jokingly when working on group projects or when my brothers, our family's exchange students, and I finally agreed on a game for family game night. However, about 5 years ago, my perspective shifted from loving this phrase to realizing there's a much stronger way to get results. When we chartered the Rotaract Club of Duke University in 2018, one of our inaugural projects was what we called our Service Above Self event. This now annual event celebrates the amazing philanthropic work led by members and participants of Rotary across North Carolina. The team that planned this inaugural event included people from university-based Rotaract clubs, community-based Rotaract clubs, Rotary clubs, and the Rotary Peace Center of Duke and UNC. But what made this event such a success was not everyone thinking alike. What made it successful was each team member bringing a unique set of ideas and problem-solving skills that turned the Service Above Self event into a beautiful celebration of Rotary. We found great strength in leveraging the diverse thinking each of these key participant groups from different stages of life brought to the planning and execution of the event. And in doing so, rather than great minds thinking alike, we had a great team thinking differently. And that is the power of Rotary. Our focus during this general session and many conversations throughout this week have been on the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The differences in identity, experience, and thought that we will continue to benefit from through focus on DE&I will drive even greater and lasting impact. So, as leaders of our organization, we need to ask ourselves, what more can we do to continue to elevate this focus within our regions of the world? Almost 118 years ago, Rotary was founded as a platform for business partnership and shared fellowship. And while we still hold on to those ideals that built our organization, a lot can change in 118 years. And as a result, Rotary has learned to evolve. In 1917, we created the Rotary Foundation, which has enabled us to lead impactful service projects, such as the Guatemala Literacy Project, which has served thousands of students and trained hundreds of teachers. In 1989, the Council on Legislation passed a vote which formally allowed women to join Rotary clubs worldwide. and we very recently nominated our second female president of Rotary International. In 2019, members of Rotaract were formally acknowledged as representing a population of people vital to the overall growth and success of Rotary. And with the elevation of Rotaract to a membership of Rotary, we grew from an organization of 1.2 to 1.4 million change makers overnight. And now, it is 2023, and it is once again time for us to, in the words of Paul Harris, not only evolve, but be revolutionary. It's time for us to embrace change in a way that drives us towards a membership that mirrors our local and global populations. To achieve a Rotary that truly reflects the population of our world, it's imperative that we empower leaders from all backgrounds and all stages of development. It's important that we promote an organization in which any human, regardless of their age, race, education, or ability, can see that there is a path for them through Rotary. Optics do matter. For some, that path may be finding purpose through impactful project work, or empowerment through international connection. For some, it may be finding excitement in working towards becoming a leader in the organization without facing institutionalized barriers. Creating a Rotary where every person can find a home includes creating a Rotary where people of all ages can find their place. While I think there is great loss in making generalizations, vastly speaking, individuals of my generation grew up, or are currently growing up, in a world of constant connectivity. We grew up with the internet and smartphones that have cultivated stronger connections to our neighbors across the street and across the world. In turn, this connectivity has fostered a shared perspective of humanity. It's that generational change that I hope we as a Rotary community lean into and learn from for the benefit of all humankind. Fostering a Rotary that welcomes people of all ages and development requires being innovative in our approach to engaging young leaders in our communities. Young people need to look at Rotary in their community and throughout the world and see people just like them working as equals in both thought and leadership alongside more tenured Rotary leaders. Prioritizing innovation that attracts people from all stages of life doesn't only drive us towards a more diverse Rotary, it doesn't only drive us towards a membership population that reflects our communities. It opens the door for collaboration that can only be found through diversity in stages of life. Now, when you look at this image behind me, imagine this picture representing a very fruitful, engaging relationship between these two people. Maybe you yourself have been a part of a mentorship partnership and can relate to one of the people in this picture. Mentorship takes on many forms. Globally, it has been formalized into programs, policies, and initiatives. And that's because it is crucial to the adaptability and long-term success of both individuals and organizations. Mentorship and the cross-pollination of ideas across generations, perspectives, and expertise is what drives positive change. And most importantly, what drives sustainable innovation. And Rotary is no exception to this trend. Mentorship and the sharing of learned experiences are the very foundation of the future of Rotary. Let me say that again. Mentorship and the sharing of learned experiences are the very foundation of the future of Rotary. It's important we recognize that. Typically, mentorship relationships are viewed as sharing the benefit of experience with others. The benefit of experience, however, does not just come with time. It also comes from generational understanding and observations of the world through different lenses. Now, looking back at the picture behind me, how many of you defaulted to viewing the older individuals as the mentors and the younger man as the mentee? What if I told you the younger man was actually the mentor? What if I told you they were all mentors? Every meaningful relationship must have a foundation of trust and communication. A key component of that is the ability to both give and receive. The concept of co-mentorship can be reflected so perfectly in the partnership between Rotary and Rotaract. A co-mentorship relationship is one in which both individuals serve as both mentor and mentee, resulting in an equally beneficial relationship between both parties. Co-mentorship transcends age, rank, and organizational standards, and the coolest part is each of you can bring this into your clubs and districts at absolutely no cost. Members of Rotary and Rotaract have the potential to truly work together and help each other develop. And of course, let's not forget about the opportunity of starting even earlier with Interact as well. However, it requires a commitment from both parties to share mutual respect and value that cross-generational synergy that comes from treating each other as true equals. Now, I do recognize the potential difficulty in adjusting our mindset to being equals. We've all worked so hard to reach the point we're at in life, making it so easy to lose sight of where we once started. And I will be the first to admit that I am a learned leader. My first time on stage was during a school production of The King and I. And, rather than walking onto stage with excitement and confidence alongside my classmates, I actually stayed backstage behind the curtain, traumatized by the idea of people looking at me on stage. But thanks to 10 years of leadership opportunities through Interact, RILA, Rotaract, and Rotary, and guidance from some truly amazing co-mentors, I have had the privilege to share this space with all of you today. As we near the upcoming Rotary year, our year of creating hope in the world, I invite you to continue to imagine a world where all 1.4 million members of Rotary and Rotaract work as equals towards our common goal of making the world a better place. To imagine how much more impactful our projects would be by leveraging diverse expertise and skill sets. To imagine how much more understanding we would have within and beyond our organization by bridging that generational gap through co-mentorship and genuine fellowship. And before we know it, Rotary will truly be led at every level by great teams thinking differently and driving lasting change in ourselves, in our communities, and throughout the world. Thank you.